Good evening, good afternoon, grand rising, wherever you may be. Yes, you are here for When Two Worlds Collide with wee me, Zoe, and the wonderful James. Sorry, it should be on that side. I hope I'm getting that right. James, all the way from Canada. It is Thursday, the 25th of April. I don't know if it's opposite or not. I'm probably just doing a mad hula dance. But yes, welcome to the show, James. It has been a wee bit longer than a month, obviously for reasons that we know. But it's great to see you. You're looking very well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's great to see you as well. And you look like you've been getting a little bit of sunshine and got a nice smile on your face, which is always great for everybody to see.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, I feel a lot lighter just now. And as you say, I've been in the sunshine. I've been out and about in my friend's car, getting out and about, getting out your comfort zone definitely reaps bounds of just different energy. And yeah, so I've been pushing myself. But as you probably know, I just done a recent ceremony with the wonderful poisonous tree frog. So I'm still a bit mellow. I'm still in that jungle zone. I'm still feeling like I've got no stress reactions. There's no PTSD in me right now. It's like a completely different level. So if I do seem like I'm on another dimension this evening, it's probably because I am.
Right,
I'm
right.
still here. I'm still here.
Well,
Mellow times. Yeah.
you were just saying, you have had another experience with the combo frog, right?
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
great to see you at a much deeper level of peace right now, without those exterior sources causing so much
Absolutely.
interference, let's say, right?
Absolutely. I
So
needed
maybe
a
you could
reset.
tell some of the viewers that might not know, that maybe here, or maybe people watching in the after show, a little bit
Sure.
about Campbell frog to start off with,
Yes.
because a lot of
Yeah.
people might not understand what it is to begin with.
Good call. I like it. I'm on the James show and I'm loving it. Yeah, I discovered Campbell through one of my very first podcast guests, Nick. I don't know if you remember, James, we had Nick Thwaites on, and he'd been on with the ayahuasca. He'd done ayahuasca, he'd completely transformed, he'd done a lot of healing. And then he mentioned Cambo, and I had never heard of it. And I'm one of those people that's like, I thought I'd heard of all the healing, things that are going on. And I'd never heard of it. So I had my nose was kind of like, oh, wait a minute, there's something resonating here. So cut a long story short, there is a video on my channel explaining my very first time that I done it with Cambo. Now, Campbell is it's called the Philomedusa bicolor, and it's a tree frog from the Amazonian. Now, unfortunately, because Campbell is getting very popular, there's people that are sourcing it not in very good ways. You do not kill a frog, one of the frogs, to get the secretions from it. It comes down, it has no predators. So the people that I like to do Campbell with is the people that are trained with the IAKP, which is the International Association of Campbell Practitioners, and they only work with one tribe, and that one tribe respects the frog. There's no quick buck in it. It's
Right.
just it's a nice way. So yeah, I've resonated with that. The first time, as you know, was to kick the pharmaceuticals. The second time was to back up the pharmaceutical, well, back up that journey. The third time was the most dots that I had, but the least reaction. And it's always been done on my leg. And what they do is they burn little holes into your leg with incense. And the facilitator creates the Cambo from a stick, which is dried in. So the secretion from the frog is dried into a stick. She adds water, makes little like jelly bits, and puts it onto these gateways. And the first three times that I've done it, it's taken quite a while to feel the tingle and the flush, but this time it was done on my arm. Yeah, I don't know if you can probably see the dots there.
Yep.
I think Ron Swanson called them my jungle track lines. I like, thank you. And because I went this time, obviously we lost Easy E, we lost Pewee, and that really hit me hard. Like, it's only now that I've done the Cambo that I've realised I have been in complete shock, denial, everything. I was doing everything I could to get out of that. I was trying to Reiki, shifting my, you know me, James. I'll do anything to try it, to try and shift it, and nothing was doing it. So when my friend said, I'm going to pay for Campbell for you need it for the grief, I thought, you know what? Do it, Zoe. And I nearly backed out the day before. I was like, oh, I'm not feeling that well. Maybe I shouldn't go. But you have, because I know I'm going to purge. I'm going to go and sit in a room with people I don't know and puke my guts out. And this time I went the other way as well. So I had to be asked to take them to the toilet, which shows me that I really needed it. It worked so much harder. I feel like a new woman. I feel it's not that I've forgotten Pewee. It's not that he's forgotten or it's easier or I less love him or miss him. It's just I feel lighter. I'm not stuck with this lead suit of grief and oh my God. And yeah, it's kind of selfish because we're grieving really only for ourselves, aren't we? Because we miss them. They're all right. They're past on the other side. But yeah, I was finding that grief, as you could probably tell. I've looked at my last streams and I'm like, I look, I can see it in me. There's a heaviness around me. So
Right.
yeah, back to my wee self. And if you would like to find out more about Cambo and you're in Scotland, I definitely can hook you up. It's not illegal. It's amazing. And if you're not, I can point you in directions to get it all over the world, basically. It's not for everybody. There's a lot of contradictions, certain medications, a lot of health things that you can't, heart problems and stuff. But yeah, there's the power of the frog. Honestly, I am feeling like, wow, yeah. I'm
Right.
feeling good. Hopping about, back to my wee self. But enough
Right.
about me, James. We're here for you.
Well,
And we've
no,
got
no,
your wee
no,
face.
that's not what this is. Never about me, right? This is about all of us and in our journey and how we learn through experience
Yeah,
or we learn through hearing about people's experience, etc. Right? So I want to just bring it back to what you were saying. Like it's kind of a bit
sure.
selfish. We're just grieving for ourselves. Well, a lot of us aren't don't just grieve for ourselves because we're not just thinking about, oh, my loss of Easy E. You're thinking
No,
about
true.
his children's
His kids.
loss, his wife is lost,
Absolutely.
the community itself is lost, and
Hmm.
and you can overtake those burdens without even realizing it. And through the stages of grief or whatnot, and our past life experience, our own self
True.
sometimes has a difficult time with the personal part of the grieving. Sometimes we have a
Yep.
harder part grieving for the other people, even though it's not our job to be burdened with the grief for his children. Like it's not our job to be like, oh, his poor children. But of course, we do feel that way.
You've
So
got heart, of course.
I don't think that it's so much a selfish act for us to find
Okay.
a better way to deal with grief because each situation is going to be different, whether it's your best friend or your
Mhm.
neighbor or your mom or your dad or your aunt or cousin or your life partner, etc. Every person that we love differently. So therefore, you're never
True.
prepared for the loss of that loved one. No matter how much we're prepared for the loss of a loved one, each loved one is
Mhm.
different. So each one
That's true.
is going to hit us differently, and we're going to have new things to learn from that period of grief, in which we can share with others if we're able to, and they can grow from that. So I think it's really
Yeah,
good
this
what you did.
Yeah, I think I'm I don't want to keep going on about it. I don't want to jump on every stream and, talk about it, but I was actually shocked at how much it hit me. For the little time that I knew Stephen Easy Pue, it was over a couple of years, but it was every single day we spoke. Woke up each
Yeah,
other with a couple of musics, and as I've said before, and it was just the boom, the void, and I think that's why I adopted it as a selfish thing, because I'm like, okay, it's me that's missing that void, that morning text, that laugh, the serious times, so I think that's why I adapted it as like a selfish thing, because I was thinking of me and the void that I was feeling. But of course, you think of others, how it affects everybody. But yeah, I've done a lot of learning, James, through this. It's made me stronger. Um, yeah, I mean that's the thing. What doesn't get us does makes us stronger, and we've got a lot of learning from that. I think I've adapted a healthier lifestyle possibly because I've been thinking what could have been the causes,
right.
because we're still to find that out. Um, but anyway, let's lift the vibrations. We're going to jump into the comments. Not that it's low vibrations when we talk about easy, but of course, it's a hard subject for everybody. I'm going to jump into the comments. I'm going to put them on the screen because as they appear, because our little Jamesy Bops, you should be. I'm going to work. Right, we've been saying this for months now. I'm going to work out. In fact, let's stay on the stream afterwards and we'll work out how you get comments. Anyway, Gazgano, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. Teresa Wild is saying hi, Zoe, James, and all. Hit the button, please. Share and leave a comment if you enjoy the show. It also helps with the algorithm. It helps Zoe grow the channel in the most authentic way. Hi, guys. Gano, thanks for joining us. That's Teresa. We've got Crazy Bunny in the house. Share, share, share. We've got the awesome Crone. Hi, everybody. Love it. Thank you, Crone. Teresa said she's really looking forward to this monthly catch up with James. I have inside info. I believe he went seed shopping recently. Oh yes, oh yes. Yeah, I was blown away by all your little tubs of seeds. Absolutely amazing. So we've got Healing the Silence, who is on the show. Ah, when are we recording? Sunday, 28th. Yes, Sunday, 28th. Shikesh from Healing the Silence is on the show. We're going to be catching up on his journey, finding out what he's been doing since the last time he was on, which was quite a few months ago. And I'm intrigued to
Right.
find out what he's been doing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I'm
Yeah,
sure I've
that'll
seen
be
a
good. I'm
little
looking
Craig.
forward to that as well.
We've got a Craig Tate.
Oh
Craig
man, Big
Tate in the house.
Craig, the
Yes,
the,
Craig in the house, the
the virus,
influencer.
the virus, Craig.
You're like, am I going to get a viral off of that? Was so funny. So
Yeah,
funny. So,
yeah.
yes, thank you everybody for joining us. I'm just having a wee skip through. If I did Campbell, I may end up making frog sounds, mate. That would be fine. The sounds that you
Oh
make when
yeah.
you are puking and doing other things. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you
Frog
do. Oh,
sounds. Frog sounds in
another wee
particular.
thing. See, you actually now my friend that I went with, Hammy, and if you're listening, Hammy, I know you won't mind. You get frog face sometimes, so your lips swell up, your eyes swell up, your face swells up, like and it's called the kiss of the frog. And 4 times I've been, I've never had it, but I did feel that my earlobes were like that, and I thought, oh my god, here we go. But I looked at him, and he's like, look at my lips, and you get massive. I think it's amazing. I love it. So yeah, it'd be Campbell frog. Absolutely. And thank you for saying that I look calm. I do feel dead calm actually. I've got really bad um hay fever. The pollen's really bad, but it's a lovely day, so Oh, we've got just another monkey in the house. Hello, lovely people. Thank you for joining us, Big Al. I really appreciate it. I know you're a busy man. And thank you for my cup that I had on my stream the other day. Just Another Monkey is a chap who does a lot of art, and it's a lot of his trauma is in the art. So what I might do is share a couple of his things on the community tab, a couple of his pictures, and on the members tab. And hopefully, when he can squeeze me into his busy schedule, he shall be appearing on the show, won't you,
Right.
Big?
Another great way
So,
to heal is using art.
absolutely.
Right. There's a
Hmm.
lot of people that can use their past chaoses in life to create such beautiful things. Right.
Absolutely.
As
His
they're
art's
healing,
amazing.
it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful outlet, and just another monkey. I'm glad that you have that outlet to help you, and we're glad that you're here, and we appreciate you. And thanks again for being here with us.
He's an amazing man, honestly, absolutely. And I think what it was for Alan is that you can't say the words sometimes. You can't tell your chaos because it physically won't come out, or you're
Right.
certain people you don't want to tell. So I think, if correct me if I'm wrong, just another monkey, but doing the doodles, he was getting it out. And we've had lots of conversations, and only certain people will see what he's saying in those drawings. But once you see it, you see it. And then
Yeah.
it's honestly, I hate talking about it and not being able to show you on the screen right now because I'm doing it absolutely no justice.
Yeah, it's one of those things like once you
Um,
see it, you can't unsee it, right?
yes,
Or
yes, but you
like
need
when you
your
say
kind of
like
eyes.
there's things that imagery can portray that vocabulary will cease to exist for those feelings and emotions. Like I've watched some
Mm.
interpretive dance before, and
Oh,
that's where I first heard that when the person was like, "Well, I had these feelings, and there was no words
oh,
to express how I was feeling, so I had to dance it out." I'm like, man,
mm,
that's pretty awesome, you know?
ama- amazing. And you're creating while you're doing that because you're creating a beautiful song or an art or dance or yeah. And I feel that, and no disrespect against people that haven't had trauma and are creative, but I feel that the most creative people are the people that have been through so much chaos in their life, because not just to express it, but because they've been so shattered, they've had to find things that'll keep them in the present, or hobbies that aren't self-destructive. Or I found myself working with resin, the epoxy resin, and I would make
Yeah.
like little trays and ashtrays, and I've sent them to Thailand and Colorado and stuff like that. Yeah, I do feel that trauma creates creative people, or maybe we're all creative, and you need to be a bit broken for it to come out, if that
Maybe,
makes sense.
or I think a lot of people that have creativity, it was shunned when they were younger, so they carry a
Yeah,
level of shame and embarrassment. They don't want to write
yeah,
poetry. They don't want to sing a beautiful song because they won't
mm,
look as tough if they sang beautifully, or some, I don't know, other types of
that's true.
silliness. I'd like to say, and not
No, that's
obviously in
true.
all cases, but it's another one of those things I love to watch on YouTube where it's like on these talent shows that are across the world when they're like, this video will blow your mind. And yeah, you just see this big, scary looking dude come out and then he sings opera. And you're like, what?
Yeah, I
Right?
love that.
I
I
do too,
love
because
stuff
it's just
like
like,
that.
it's like myself, right? I've had a lot of people say that I'm a very intimidating, big, scary dude, but I'm also the perfect person to shatter the foundations of like, don't judge a book by
Mhm.
its cover. Like,
Exactly.
sure, I come from, and I came from a place that had a lot of violence, et cetera, but that isn't who I am. I don't have to
Mm.
allow my past to define who I am today, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
we
And like
we're the
what you
ones that can make that choice. We can choose to say, I'm a product of my environment still, or I'm going to create a new environment. Like, so I was I'll use plants for instance because I'm back into planting season. So you could send me a plant that's extremely toxic and ill from the soil that it's growing in, from being over fertilized with improper fertilizer, or over watering, and it gets full of fungus gnats and thrips and
yeah,
all kinds of nutrient deficiencies as well as nutrient toxifications. Same things happen to us for our environment sometimes in life.
of
Well,
course. Of course.
I can take that plant after 25 years of growing hydroponically as well as plants in soil and
Mhm.
soilless mixtures, and we can save that plant by washing away the old toxic soil and planting
Nice.
it in new soil with proper
Mhm.
fertilizer. And it might take weeks and months before you see the plant getting new growth that's healthy. And you can't just go and cut off all the old sick plant, or there'll be no plant to grow back. So I think a lot of
Mhm.
human beings are like that. We still have all these dead leaves attached to us, and from our past that makes us ill. But the new parts of our plants are growing because we're changing our
Mhm.
environment and we're getting the proper nutrients and care. So, like,
Absolutely.
no matter how damaged you are out there as a human being and you think you're unrepairable and all these things, trust me, you just need to wash that soil away, get yourself some new foundational soil. And trust me, those old leaves that are sick and bug ridden, they're going to die as the new growth
Mhm.
comes. And sorry, I got to pause this for a second. My dog's going
Yeah,
canary.
yeah, that's all right. That's totally fine. What a wee shame. Yeah, James has been doing amazing. You can go and check his stuff out actually over on his channel, on his James Collins Cares one. I'm going to see if I've got the address. James gets mean with a dog. Scary. He's like, yeah, I'm a big softie as he beats his dog up. No, I'm only joking. He wouldn't do
Yeah.
that.
No, somebody must have
You're
pulled in the
right.
driveway
I
and she
love
wanted
it.
to let them know, don't be here. You're a good girl. Come here.
Right. She's doing her
Something like that.
job. Her job.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Exactly. Can't get mad at
Hey.
her for that. But so, yeah, I like to say that about plants and how we're just like plants as human beings. I believe in every single one of you out there. And no matter how damaged you might think you are, it's okay. But I believe you can
Mhm.
get better. And just like myself, no matter how better I've gotten, I want to do better. I want to find
Of
out what
course.
nutrients, what sunlight I need, what shade I need. And like you've said to me, thankfully, I'm trying to learn it. The rest period. We need
Yes.
downtime and we need to just chill out sometimes. And I ain't so good at
Mhm.
that. You know, I'm sure I
No.
take 4 or 5
Especially
hours a day where I'm doing nothing. I'm just,
yeah,
smoking ganja, watching YouTube. But I still watch and I'm sitting there going, I should be working. I should be working. I'm learning the downtime.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because if you don't, James, you end up running on like 50% of you or 60%. You need to be your 100%. And I think we're all programmed to feel guilty when we're not
Lunchbox, come
busy.
here.
And that's also why people are getting, diagnosed with all these things. And we've got social media. I mean, I'm sitting with three devices right now. I've got my tablet to the left, I've got the screen in the front, and I've got one to the right. And I've got to keep it. Not that everybody streams every day, but we're programmed to just constantly be stimulated. Even if we're lying in bed, it's like, oh, I'm going to watch a video. We never used to. We would read a book or we would just lie still, meditate. So it's brilliant that you're taking the balance because you are a Trojan in the summer. When the summer hits, you are just like garden man. That's
Yeah.
you, James Wisniewski, and you don't have a balance, but
I
you're
don't know
learning.
if
I
this
like
will
that.
show them, but that's
Oh yeah,
cucumber
you let me know.
plants.
Love it. Oh, if I had the space, if I had the
Right?
space, I swear,
So
absolutely
that's the starting of the cucumber plants. There's three different varieties there. And
brilliant.
yeah, like I get so busy in the summertime and I have all these ideas of like I should shoot this video so that people would learn how I grow things. And then I'm like, well, when are you going to edit it? You only have so much room in your phone that's already full of videos that you're supposed to be editing to put on your YouTube channel. And I
True.
just,
Yep.
it's so hard when you're by yourself when you put
Yeah.
so many things on your list. Like I make a massive list of chores to do every day or every night. If I forget tonight, I'll make my list first thing in the morning. And I'm doing my best to check off as many as those things. And I generally make the list so big, I know there's no way I'm getting it done. Or I put a chore on there that's a 4 or 5 day chore, something it's not getting done in a day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right, it took up the whole list, right? Um,
They
it's
say
yeah,
that
like
lists are good. No, lists are meant to be really good for mental health. But like you say, don't set yourself goals that you know that you're not going to accomplish. Do little baby goals, even little things like wash my hair or, polish my boots. So it's say you've got five little tasks, then you've got a medium task. And then for that week, there's a buggery a task that you do really need to get done, but you can do it over the week. And if you just even do three that day, you're like, oh, well, I've done that three. And then it becomes like a habit. And the next thing you know, you're doing more and more. But it's when we do, right, I'm going to do this today, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. And we don't get any of it done. And then we just give up because we're
yeah.
like, well, I didn't do anything. So little things. And then you're like, oh, I got that done. I got that done. Well, that's worked for me anyway. I just
Well,
find that lists do definitely help. Ticking them off is very
it's
like
good for us.
rewarding, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
gives us the dopamine. It's like, hey, I've done this. But I've had to
yeah.
put things on the list that I know I'm not going to get done so that I can
Mhm.
learn that it's okay that you're not getting everything done. Because
Yeah,
I
exactly.
used to be so self-abusive of like, man, you were going to do this yesterday, and it's just like, wow,
Yeah.
you just wasted 10 minutes of today focusing on what you didn't do yesterday. So I've been
Totally.
purposely putting it on the list, and at the end of the day, it's like, well, didn't get that done. That's as much time as
Yeah.
it got. I don't have time to go
Yeah.
back tomorrow and be like, oh, I didn't do this yesterday because I already did
No.
it before I went to bed. I looked at the list and like, well, didn't get that done
Yep.
today. It's okay.
Yep.
And have
Mhm.
to train
Mhm.
myself. And there's still some days I forget. But I'm trying to, like, time is the only thing in life that is really after us. And it's been after us since the moment we're born. Time, it's this
Yeah.
big evil thing, and it exists in a
Mhm.
sense. And the only existence it really has is to come after you.
See,
If
I
you
view
can,
time differently. Do you view time as like that ticking clock, like sort of going? I don't. I've got one clock in my house. That's it. I feel that time is an illusion, and I know people say that, but it's not like a linear thing.
no,
It's
no,
like we'll have weeks that I'm like, oh my God, it's already April. Like, where's this year
right,
gone? And then you'll have other times it's like, hours are going really slowly. It's what's going on in our life, sort of thing.
for
But I
sure. It's
know
like,
what you
oh,
mean
like
when
time flies
the
when you're
time is
having
chasing.
fun, kind of thing,
Exactly. Mhm.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I just mean more the sense of like, I'm only allotted so much life.
Yeah.
And if I waste that today, wasting any part of today's life on things I didn't do yesterday, then I'm wasting
Yeah.
what I was given today because I'm not promised tomorrow.
Yeah.
I ain't
Mhm.
even promised
Mhm.
tonight's dinner. So if I
Mhm.
waste 15 minutes of my today wasted on what I didn't do yesterday or what I didn't do last
Mhm.
week, then I'm failing myself,
Yeah,
right?
and you're beating
And like,
yourself up over nothing.
yeah, and like I listen
Nothing.
to a lot of motivational speeches, and there's a lot of them out there that are like, you know what? I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it wasn't easy, but I used discipline, and then it became a
Yeah.
habit. So I was up at 3 o'clock every morning. And he's like, by 8 o'clock in the morning, when everyone else was getting up, I was already done my work. And I'm thinking, okay,
Wow.
well, but what time do you go to bed at nighttime, sir? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're getting up to start your day's work. I didn't get up till 8 o'clock in the morning, but it's 3 a.m. and I'm still working, bro. So, like,
Yeah.
don't tell me
Yeah.
because you got up at 3 a.m. and 5 hours before everyone else did that's why you're doing better in life. You're doing better in
Yeah.
life because opportunities came and you were able to grasp them or you worked hard. Like, there's one I really like, and he's like, it took me 12 years to get a 4-year degree. He goes, but the paper you have on your wall is the same paper I have on my wall. It
Mm.
doesn't say it
Mhm.
took me 12 years to get this degree. It was harder for
Mhm.
me, but I wanted it. So it took me 12 years to do it. I had to
Wow.
keep
Yep.
going back and going back and going back. So it's like this wonderful determination that we all can have within ourselves too, if we learn to
Mm.
stop comparing ourselves to the other person's journey. That, oh,
Oh,
well, they had this
absolutely.
handed to them, or they didn't have this trauma, et cetera, et cetera. Don't worry about that, man. Run your own race.
Absolutely.
Run your own
Absolutely.
race and believe you can get there in time. And like you say, time ain't
Mm.
linear. So don't necessarily put a timeline on it of like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna get there in 9 weeks. And then if you didn't get there for 12 weeks, then you're bothered because you set a number to this destination.
Yep.
Just set the destination, enjoy
Yep.
the journey in the
Mhm.
destination, in achieving the destination. Because a lot of the times I feel once you reach the destination and you get that oh yeah only lasts for a few seconds.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
the journey of getting there has a lot of oh yeah, I'm getting there, I'm getting
Exactly.
there. So the
Mhm.
journey I find a lot of the time is so much more valuable than the actual destination. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
skateboard trick.
Exactly.
You're trying to do an ollie. You're
Mhm.
trying to do an ollie, one of the first skateboard tricks anyone ever learns. And
Yeah.
like once you learn how to do it, there's no fun doing an ollie. It's just something you do when you're
True.
skateboarding. Like, oh, curbs in the way, ollie. You don't even give it a second thought. Life is like that, my friends and my family, every
Mm-hmm.
one of you out there. Is we can learn
Mm-hmm.
to do these things, and once we learn to do it, it's just instinct. So
Exactly.
let's take more pleasure in the journey, because there's hard parts in the journey. Well, guess what? Being successful is uncomfortable. So when you become comfortable with being uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
the answers are
Mm-hmm.
already there for you. The answers are already there
Yeah.
for you.
The less you've got, the less you've got to lose as well. That's what I feel. When I was younger, like designer stuff, and I've got to have this and I've got to have that. But as you get older and start realize that these things aren't important, and then I started thinking, the more that you've got, as you say, successful, I would have that fear. Oh my God, I'm going to lose everything. You'd lose your house, whatever. If you've got all these things, rent, mortgages, whatever, and shit goes up. Sorry, pardon my French, YouTube. It's more to lose. So I just think if everybody stayed humble, they're grateful for what they've got. Like you say, just because you're not a CEO of some company, it doesn't mean that you're useless in life. You could be a gardener for like a little community place, and the love and the respect that you've got and the job satisfaction is more rewarding, I feel, than making £100,000 a year and being in a really stressful job, or being in like a grey building 24/7.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of balance, but that's me. I'm not money orientated.
But
I've had it
that's
and
why
I've
it
lost
takes
it,
all of
and
us. That's why it takes all of
yeah,
us, right?
yeah.
There
See
are
that
some people out
question.
there that from a young age, they're like, oh, I want an office job where I just have to go to work at 8 a.m. and I'm done at 4:30, and then I can do whatever I
Mhm,
want. And sure, I got to live
mhm,
in a city and I got to do all this shit. He's like, but at least I'm going to be doing this. And they pick
mhm.
something that they know we're always going to need in life, or at least for this generation. And there's those happy people out there, right?
And your journey can take you anywhere. You might be like, right, this is what I'm going to do. That's my destination. But your journey might take you on a complete, and it'll be better than you ever expected. It's 100 times better. So always be quite open-minded and open to other like messages and signs to do other things. Don't just be like blinkers on. That's what I want, because guaranteed there's something better for everybody out there. You
Yeah.
just kind of got to embrace it.
Yeah, you could make a wrong turn, go into the city, and come across a food festival and be like, "What? I didn't even know there was a food festival." Like
Yep.
yesterday,
Yep. Yep.
we were
Mhm.
there's a poutine festival this weekend here in Renfrew. When I was coming through town with my friend Sterling, we noticed like 9 food trucks at the park and ride.
Wow.
And I mean, like
You're
I
like,
live in a small town. There's like 8,000 people live in my town. So like
wow.
legitimately with 8 food trucks being in this park and ride, it's a good chance that probably going to be 1,000 people there over the weekend.
Wow.
Uh, yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Brilliant. That's right up your street as well, isn't it?
it kind of is
Used to
because
be.
like I don't do too much socializing, even though I really enjoy it. So I said to Sterling, I was like, "Oh, I think I might need a poutine this weekend."
Absolutely. Absolutely. Then maybe you can connect with these guys, and you've got your produce. Maybe they might buy your produce in the future because you've got all your stuff from your gardening. Maybe they can help with your pure love thing. We're helping feeding some of the guys in the city and stuff. How's that going anyway? What's been happening with that?
Well, I'm just in fundraising mode right now. Like I say, last year was a tough year for the foundation. I spent most of the money before the summer was even over. So I've been, and it was a tough fall for a lot of people. So the Pure Love Foundation funds are only at about $80 right now. But I'm
Okay.
doing fundraising, which is a can drive, getting people's empties so that and hopefully June around my birthday, I can go and round up a bunch of homeless people on Bank Street and bring them to one of the food trucks or take them and get them pizzas and stuff like
Brilliant.
that. So that's what's
Brilliant.
been going on with Pure Love Foundation right now, as well as, well, gardening season's in full spore. So try and get all the vegetables planted because, as you know, I like to bring extra food that I grow directly to the local food bank here so that they're getting fresh
Exactly.
produce. And
No,
so,
do you still have your GoFundMe? Sorry, I was just looking for a pen. Do you still have your GoFundMe for the Pure Love Foundation, don't you?
yeah, I believe there's still the GoFundMe there as well as, I can't
So,
remember. I can't remember. I don't really
right,
do the tech
I'll
side, you know, but
yeah, I'll hunt out those links, and what I'll do is I'll add it to the description box. So if anybody's watching just now and they want to donate, bear with me. The thing will be up like 5 minutes after the stream. And if you're watching on replay, it should be there. So thank you. And if it's not already, guys, could you please just give this video a wee tiny thumbs up? If you could press the wee emoji things if you're watching on a live chat, because that bumps up the algorithm supposedly, it'd be really appreciated. So yes, wow, 40 minutes in already. That's
I
absolutely
just
crazy.
shut my camera
Yeah,
off so I can have a cigarette.
oh my God, Becky. No, that's all right. I'm trying not to. I've got myself a wee vape, a nicotine vape, because I really want to stop getting off the rollies. I'm just going to have a wee flick through the comments while you're having your little. Oh, Crone says that her life has been like snakes and ladders. But Crone, this is the way I look at it, right? This is not a go at you. This is going to sound like it was going to give you a lecture. Like, if life was so plain sailing, the good times wouldn't be the good times because every time would be good, so you wouldn't really like appreciate the good times. So we've kind of got to go through the up and down. Memories over money, pals over pounds. Absolutely, just another monkey. Absolutely, all the way. Catherine says, I feel like I've lost out in many things in life because while everyone was racing ahead, I found myself being one of the ones holding back to help the less able to challenge the hurdles of life. I know, hon, but that's just because you're an absolute earth angel and you think of others before you, which you've got to change. You've got to start thinking of yourself. And yes, Teresa, definitely wise words there from just another monkey. He is a wise man. Let the human race. Honestly, you're funny with your mouth. This is why I want you on the show. I really want you to explain, Big Al, like the man thing and the male thing, because I try to explain it to people and I just sound like I'm a man hating woman, which I'm not. I just want you to explain it. So yeah, if we can get you on the show soon, that would be awesome. So yes, I was just going through the comments there.
I'm not a
It's
man
so
hating
funny.
woman. I like to say to people,
No,
like I'm
yeah.
not prejudiced and I'm not racist. I believe in hating everybody equally.
Hating everybody equally. That's terrible, eh? I don't hate anybody or anything. I
No,
just choose to stay away from certain energies,
right.
no matter what color, creed, race, or gender. Do you know what I mean? If I'm not feeling your vibes, then no, no, it's not happening. So yeah, I just preserve my energy, protect my energy, and stay in the Campbell lane for now.
So, so here's
I'm
a
so
few
relaxed.
things more that I'm going to be growing this year. Is
Yes.
crimson sweet watermelon? They grow up to 20
Mm,
pounds or 9 kilos,
wow. Wow.
and then beefsteak tomatoes,
Cool.
San Marzano sauce tomatoes, pink
Tomatoes.
ponderosa tomatoes,
Mm,
yellow zucchinis
Tropicana.
or courgettes,
Squash.
Genovese
Or
basil.
basil.
I
I
have
love
Greek
basil.
basil. No, I have Greek oregano going right now, and dark opal purple basil. And then we got some garlic
Ooh.
chives, and we got some regular chives, and we got some
Ooh,
walnut
okay.
butternut squash. We got some Minawasi Japanese daikon radish that grow up to about a pound.
Nice.
And then we have some albino
Wow.
beets. These are the white beets that they
Nice.
use to grow they grow a lot of them in like Poland for sugar beets.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I've just seen the purple. I'm assuming beets is beetroot. Like that's what we call it, beetroot. And
yeah,
it's usually purple. I only
right.
like it when it's in the jar with the vinegar.
Oh, yeah, I make really good pickled beets.
I
Now,
love
these
that.
albino beetroots don't make good pickles. They're too sweet. They don't have that earthy flavor.
Oh, okay. So it would just be too sweet to pickle because, yeah, I get that. There's not going to be that balance, is there?
Right.
No, oh, Dinny. I'm going to have to start a GoFundMe and get me Canada. Or maybe
I
like run
just,
a mile every day and you can sponsor me.
I just
Oh,
legit
yeah,
spilled
exactly.
seeds on my table and have no idea what they came
Oh
out
my God.
of. And like these are tiny
Just make
seeds.
a
Like
variety bucket. Oh no, it's tomatoes.
I can't even pick one up to show you how tiny they are.
See, Catherine's saying that she hates the smell of growing tomatoes. It smells like cat pee. Do you know what I think smells like cat pee?
You
Basil.
see how
Or
tiny those
dill.
are?
Oh yeah, teeny. Teeny.
You can't
Yeah.
grow what because it smells like cat pee?
Basil. Well, basil. But
Oh,
Catherine said the tomatoes. See,
right.
I think it smells like I don't know what. I don't know what it smells like. It is quite a potent smell, though. To be fair, the tomatoes. I've only got kale on the go. My chili plants died because I stupidly put them outside, and I'm in Scotland. So I've got a couple that. Well, the two I left on the windowsill are amazing, but the ones that I took out, yeah, that was a
Well,
wee epic
if you
fail.
can
But
get
it's
some
fine.
of those clear water bottles, right?
Yeah, I've got loads of
You
them.
can use them as a mini greenhouse outside. Like just put it over top of your plants and it becomes like
Oh,
a
okay.
even on like cooler days, the sun irradiating
Okay.
through the plastic creates more heat and more sunlight.
I think we're going down to 1 degrees tomorrow, so I might actually do that tonight after this because I've
I
got
can
loads of.
tell that
I've
you
been
haven't been
a lot of water.
watching gardening videos from that guy I told you to follow from the UK.
Well, I have spicy mustache. See, I can remember him. That's the guy, eh? And I say mustache when we would say moustache. But yeah, spicy mustache or mustache. I really like his stuff. I like how he like packs up right. So I copied one of his things. See, there you go. I never told you this. I got catnip, and he had a clear bottle, and he halved it and put holes like in the bottom. So I done that and I put the compost in. But what I didn't do, and I wonder if this is why it didn't happen, is he painted it white, like around where the earth was, whereas I didn't. And then I put my catnip in it and it sprouted and then it just went, nah. But catnip seems to be very delicate. It's a very delicate sprout. You know how some stuff's quite
Yeah.
hardy when they come out, like sunflowers and like, I don't know, other stuff's hardy. This was just really weak and really delicate. So I think I put it in another pot and it's fine. It's totally fine now. So I've got catnip on the go, cat grass, kale for the bunny, chilies for me, and potatoes. Got my tatties on the go. Yep, can't wait for my
What
tatties.
happened to
And
your
then
radishes?
oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I've got way too many radishes. I've got
Right. I'm
too
gonna
many
show I'm
planters
gonna
now.
show you a technique for growing radishes in a sense. I'm making a
Okay.
video of it. But like say you have that little
Ooh.
planter, just take your I don't know, do your eggs come in cartons? Like 12 eggs,
Yeah, or six.
right?
Yeah.
Just flatten your earth and then take your egg crate and like kind of just push it down into the dirt and that'll give you perfect spacing for a radish. And
Okay.
radish seeds
Okay.
generally have like a extremely high germination rate. So just put one or
I'm
two
not
seeds in each little circle and give it
okay.
water and let them go. And when the two seeds growing, they'll push themselves apart.
Okay.
So you don't really need to thin them out. If you only put one or two seeds in each hole that's about 2 inches away, the radishes will push themselves apart and you'll have a nice bed of radishes.
I
Yeah,
just filled
right.
the pot. And then
So
I said about
I'm gonna show you my potatoes.
oh, my potatoes are really flourishing. I'm like so happy because I love tatties. Tatties. Potatoes. Let's see. Oh, nice. What they call red thumb. I like it.
Yeah, red
Red
flesh.
thumb.
Right? They
Brilliant.
have a red
Wow.
flesh to them and red skins.
That'd be higher in nutrients probably for you, James. That'd probably be better for you. That's
I'm
good.
thinking more of the yuppie douchebags that have money that come up to this area to hang out in our lakes and rivers can buy them
Yeah.
because I'll sell them more expensive than a regular potato because they're red on the
Yeah.
inside.
Eh, probably put food colour in it. Probably put food colour into the red potatoes. Yeah, manipulator and narcissist, man, that's right. Males are empathetic and caring individuals, hence an alpha male, but never an alpha man. That's right. Yes. Yes. Well said, just another monkey. He always says it
Right.
so much better.
It's like the word
Honestly.
fine. If someone's like, "Hey, how you doing?" and you're like, "Oh, I'm fine," that's a short form for feeling insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
Actually.
Oh, I don't know. I heard it and I really like it. It's like, oh, I'm fine.
I
Oh,
like
so you're
that.
feeling insecure, neurotic, and emotional. Do you need a hug?
People Yeah, totally. No, I like things like that. It's like the word fear, false evidence appearing real. I've always liked that one because it's quite a good explanation as well. I'd highly recommend Just Another Monkey before any mainstream mental health professional services. Absolutely. He does more for you in one sitting than a lifetime of so-called professionals. Agreed. Just Another Monkey's got this amazing earthy, angelic healing skill of just being able to connect with anybody, no judgment, but he'll say it to your face. And I think some people need to hear certain things about themselves for them to heal, but they could only really accept it from somebody like Just Another Monkey. But you'll understand once I get him on the show, you'll be like, yep, totally. I've worked with Just Another Monkey on The Grey Area, the show that I was in. So that's how we reconnected. But yeah, amazing soul, amazing soul. So we'll definitely get you on. Definitely. And yeah, oh no, I keep forgetting we're on YouTube. I was going to say something, but I can't. It's okay. It was about psychedelics, but we can't talk about that. So just not going to say that. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think you can. From what I understand, it's more or less just about the first 5 minutes. Like, don't swear within the first 5 minutes, et cetera, et cetera. Because I watch lots of channels where, like, 15 minutes in, they're smoking cigarettes, they're drinking liquor, they're
Hey,
swearing,
right,
they're
let's
saying,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah. And it's just
I'll
like,
be back
man,
in a minute.
yeah. Let's take this moment
Oh,
for anybody who's watching. Um, know that you're important to me and that you're important to your community. And even if you don't feel that you're doing well in life, just know that you're not doing well in life because you're not supposed to be doing well in life right now. That
yeah.
this is a time for you to reflect as the new moon is gone and the full moon is just behind us, that new things are coming in. Spring is on its way. Things are going to grow. Seeds that were planted in you maybe 20 years ago, this might be the year that they germinate like some of the old growth rainforest trees. We needed some of the other trees to get knocked down in the windstorms for the light to be able to penetrate through as the sun hits the soil and it warms it up and it gives you just exactly what you needed for that seed to crack and the new growth to grow outside of you, and that tree of love and light and acceptance without shame and fear and resentment or frustration or hate and anger. That I see this within inside each and every one of you. Even those of you who don't feel like you're suffering and that you're doing really well, know that I know that you're going to be doing even better, that you can even fathom, because none of us believe in ourselves as much as I believe in you and as much as I'm starting to believe in myself, because through
Yes,
acceptance we grow, and you're all growing, and I love you, and you're so so important. You just you'll see it soon enough. You will, trust me. And
absolutely.
if you don't, give this video a thumbs down, and it won't affect me,
Yeah,
because
go for it. Yeah,
my
yeah,
belief in you doesn't need you to believe in you. It doesn't matter to me.
yeah,
I'll still believe in you whether you believe in yourself or not. So just know that
absolutely.
on those days where you're like, nobody believes in me, I'm not worth loving. Bullshit. A complete stranger believes in you and loves you. And I'm allowed to, because people are allowed to hate strangers for no reason. I'm allowed to love strangers for every reason.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And that's why I love having you on this show, James. And you mean it. It's not just, as you say, for clicks and likes and that. You don't script it. It just comes from the heart. I didn't say, 50 minutes I want you to say this. And you're so genuine, you're so raw, you're so honest. And that's why I love having you in my community. I love having you as a friend. You say it how it is. And if you're having a crap day, you say it. If you're having a good day, you share it. It's just, you're a beautiful soul. And I want you to remember how amazing you are, James, because I don't think that you hear it enough. You give it out, but I don't think you hear it enough. From the work that you
Thank
do
you.
with the homeless people to the work that you do in the group, I know that you're on lots of other groups as well, and I know that they will all agree with me. Like, you are amazing, and on the days that you feel that nobody gives a shit, please know that we all can love the bones of you, James. Okay, and you are just an absolute picture of healing journey, and you're just beautiful. You're absolutely amazing. So don't you
Thank
forget
you.
that,
Thank
right?
you.
Pointing at you now.
You know what? I don't hear it often, and I know the feelings are there.
I know.
I know people care about me, but you know what? it doesn't hurt to hear it. And I appreciate you very much for saying that. Thank you.
I mean it. I mean it. I don't think you hear it enough because you're always giving it out. Yes, cheers. Some lemon Vasa. I know I'm still being healthy. It's good though. When I've
I'm
came back
still
from
being
Campbell, I
healthy.
can't even drink coffee.
I'm almost 5 years without poisoning myself with alcohol. Like, I'm so close.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. But it could be 5 days and I would still be celebrating you as much as 5 years. Like, another one, just another monkey. He deals a lot with people in addiction and things like that as well. And this whole, I've been 4 years, 4 months, 4 days clean. Like, I don't think people should put a time on it. It's this whole time thing again. Because
Yes.
say that person relapses, right? They've had a wee, and then they can't come in and be like, oh, I'm still 4 years. Or people say, oh, you're not coming in saying you're four. It's like, it puts you down even more.
It
So just
can.
be
It
proud.
can.
Like, does
I
that make
like the
sense? I
saying.
mean,
I like the saying that I've heard from an addict, and it's a beautiful saying. And it says, you can either say one day, like I'll get clean one day, or you can say,
mhm,
I'm clean on day one, because
mm,
that's where it starts. You
yep,
can start on day one, or you can start with
yep,
one day, right?
yep,
And that's
yep,
really all it
yep,
takes is that one day to be day
yep,
one. And then once you have day
yep.
one, and then you can get day two, and that's important. It is important counting days to an extent for some people, right? It
Of
really is.
course.
I just find it fascinating that what I realized was there are things in life that are going to be negative that we control. And there are things in life that are negative
Yes.
that we have zero control over.
Mhm,
And say 50% of the time my usage of alcohol was a positive experience, and 50% of the time it was a negative experience. I'm the only
mhm,
one that could control that, because you
mhm.
can get drunk and then get mad. And what's the first thing you do when you're mad, when you're drunk, is play the blame game. You did this or you did
Uh,
that. And zero responsibility, zero accountability. So if I
mhm,
wanted to have accountability for my actions, and I wanted to take control over something that was bringing negativity into my life, I had to just
mhm.
get rid of it and just say, well, you ain't welcome here no more. And I wish it was as easy to do that with negative fucking, sorry for the language, YouTube, intrusive negative thoughts that I know
Yeah,
are
you
not
said
mine.
that.
And like during the first
Mhm,
few days before the full moon and during the full moon, just like a bombardment of negative thoughts towards
mm,
people from my past, et cetera, et cetera. And I would just look outside and I'm like, why? This isn't me. I don't wish
yep.
these people any harm or any bad luck. Like, why are these thoughts even coming to me? I don't really wish to think about this human being, let alone think about them in a negative manner. And I have no explanation on why I get these thoughts other than they're intrusive thoughts that aren't mine.
Or it could be psychic attacks because there are such things as psychic attacks. People, I'm not talking about somebody sitting around a cauldron doing, but even somebody sitting not liking you or even having a bad thought, you can feel that,
Yeah.
especially if you're like us, we're quite open spiritually. Like we would feel that if we know that somebody's maybe feeling a grievance or whatever. But like I said, our brains are our worst enemy and our best friend. And I feel that when we've had things, chaos going on, we do have those days. It's like the devil. That's what I call it, the devil on the shoulder. Whether it be like, oh, you're really tired today. Do you know how good you would feel if you had a dihydrocodeine tablet, Zoe? That would just perk you up. And I'm like, and it's literally, I have this battle, and I call it the devil and the angel. And I'm not religious. I just see it as the shadow. It's a shadow coming out, and it's just trying to, and it's like, no, 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 no. I'm going to
Yeah.
balance that right back up again. I mean, it's life, James, but I love how you can say it. You're not just shutting away and going, oh my God, these thoughts. You're like, I'm having quite dark thoughts today, and I don't know why. And I love
Well,
that because not a lot of people can
I
say
have to
that.
share that, because if I don't, then I could be left feeling alone. That I'm the only one that suffers from these things when I know I'm not. I know that somebody else
Yeah.
out there is watching, cares about everyone in life, but yet sometimes thinks about somebody from their past and is like, man, I wish they would, just get punched in the fucking mouth. And then you're just like, what?
Totally.
Like, you're doing the dishes and you're like, oh, I hope my
I know.
ex-girlfriend gets chlamydia, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's like the whole. Have you ever walked past somebody? This is going to be. Oh my God! Please don't judge me, right? Uh, when I was younger, it was like I'd walk past somebody with a wee dog, and I love animals, or a wee granny, and it would just be like, bang! I wouldn't do it, but I would picture it. Boom! And I wasn't violent or aggressive. It was just that what if or I could. And then
yeah,
you sort of like, why did I think that? Like, why? It didn't happen all the time. I'm not a psychopath. Don't worry. I've been
no,
diagnosed and not
no,
psychopath.
exactly.
But I think it's the same thing. It's that little, we've all got that little bit of darkness in us. You know, you'd be lying to say you've not. The people that are more light is the ones that can say we've all got a bit of darkness. Because for as light as we are, that's how much darkness. So I'm sorry, people like us that are very, I would say, light workers, we've got more dark than other people
Right.
because we're yin yang.
Well,
But we
and
embrace it.
like I'm a Gemini, and
We
like
own
I'm a
it. We
solid
own it,
Gemini. My
husband.
birthday is June 7th. Like I'm right in
Yeah,
the
I've got a
middle,
Gemini son.
you know? And
Geminis are mental, by the
and
way.
legit, like I've had to say to people that have tried to frustrate me and get me angry, I've had to say to them, like, please, my friend, understand this, that how much I love and care and respect is a direct reflection for how much I can hate.
Yeah,
I can be your
I get
best
that.
friend or I can be your worst enemy.
Yeah.
And I've worked so hard because violence and aggression never solves the problem. It really
Uh-huh.
doesn't. And trust me,
It
I'm
creates more.
really I'm really good at violence and aggression. Like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but I don't want
Yep.
that. I don't want
Yep.
that. It okay, it probably served a purpose. There was a time in my life where I needed to be that human being in order to keep myself safe in the environment I was in.
Survival, of course. Uh-huh.
But
The
I'm
the
no longer in
divine
that
masculine,
environment,
yeah.
you know?
No, and you embrace your feminine. That's when we talk about the masculine feminine. It's when you're not that constant masculine. You can kick back, embrace your feminine side, and be more in touch with your emotion because you're in a safer place. When
Yeah,
you're living through, whether it be homelessness, addiction, lifestyles, certain situations, you're constantly having to be full alert. Or, it's
yeah,
self-preservation. So it's beautiful that now, at our age that we can sort of go, I'm a bit safe now. I've not got any drama. I've not got a violent partner or, a drug addicted partner or whatever. We can it's kind of just caring for ourselves. But I must say, with you being a Gemini, I do have a Gemini son. And I was actually shocked to find out that most serial killers are Geminis. There's a fun fact for you.
yeah,
So, yeah, most psychopathic killers are Geminis. And I was like, what? But
man.
like you say, you're a lover, you don't want it, but it's there. Don't poke the bear, mate. Basically, that's
Yeah,
that's what I feel. You don't go. You aren't angry people. I see quite like Aries and stuff, quite fiery. You're not fiery. You are very balanced, but just didn't piss them off.
yeah.
That's what I see it like. They're beautiful
It's
people. Love Geminis.
very, you
Just
better.
didn't kill me, James, please.
You better.
Exactly. Eh? I hope my son's not watching. Love you, son.
Yeah,
Wake up
yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, because like to a Gemini, I could be like, look, I know where you live. And you're like, you know what country I live in. That's it. And I'm like, that's all we need.
No, but that does happen, by the way.
Yeah,
Hence why I've got a new background. There was that girl who had a stalker and he flew in and killed her cat. And then there was another guy, same girl. She's got Tourette's. I hate saying she's got Tourette's, but she's renowned for her Tourette's on Twitch. Beautiful lass. She
yeah,
doesn't wear makeup. She wears her zip up top. She wears hoodies. So she's not like one of those girls that are wanting clout. She just plays gaming and she does funny wee ticks. And this guy stalked her, flew over to Britain and killed her cat. And then another guy got stopped in customs because he was trying to get one was for Germany, one was for America. And she was like, honestly, if you're starting to do streams and you've got even like a window or a plant, she's like, take it away from the window because all somebody needs to know is roughly where you are. And then literally look in your house and see if there's a plant well went. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't like that. Not that I'm going to get any mad stalkers, but you never know. Self preservation.
yeah.
Yeah, you've got a much fun. You're all right. You're in the middle of the sticks. I'm kind of a wee bit more like central.
Yeah,
But
and my
yeah,
laneway is like 300 feet long. and like there's nobody coming down my laneway without my dog knowing. And that's been another great thing. Oh man, Chris Vesna, glad you could pop in, my brother. Much respect. I hope
Thank
work
you,
and
Chris.
everything is going well for you. That's
Thanks for
another
joining,
thing
Chris.
about living alone with like my past. Like I live out here in the middle of nowhere with no fear. So I never have to be in that aggressive protective mode at all. I don't have a life partner. I don't have children. I don't have anybody to worry about other than my dog. And man, my dog's 160 pounds. She can take care of herself.
I've seen her. She's a big girl. Wow. Yeah, wouldn't be breaking into your house, mate. No chance. Oh wow. No, that's
Absolutely. What was
that.
that
Yeah,
last one?
sorry. Was it the recovery one? Sorry. There's a
No,
quite
it was
a
longer
few
than that.
recovery. Right, hold on. Um, recovery isn't a trend to follow or celebrate. We're going through things, and it needs to remain sensitive and not be glorified. Yes, because I'm in recovery. Um, Definitely not. The idea of swapping substance for a yearly badge or balloon is just silly. Well done, well said. Um, Shikesh replies, absolutely. By remembering why we are recovering, we're able to address what caused it, and that way others won't have to recover through the same things that have harmed us.
Right.
Absolutely,
Yes.
Shikesh.
Yes.
Bang on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And recovery should always remain a way to end what caused it and not keep it continuing. I
Right.
absolutely like I I've got this thing about this word relapse and recovery. I don't know why. Because when Easy passed away and I was really struggling, like I wasn't like, oh, I couldn't get out of my bed. I was literally was just in a daze. I couldn't do anything. And I did. I took a couple of it's not a couple of codeine. I took like a codeine one day, and then like a week later I was having a crap day, and I regretted it instantly, and I was really sick, physically sick, because my body wasn't used to it. But in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I've just done like a year's work. But there you go. It was like I had that instant pressure of I'm not a year, I've not got that badge, I've not got that, I've done a year and da 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 da. Now, if people say, oh, are you still off your stuff? I've got to say no.
Yeah.
I relapsed. I couldn't say it. I couldn't tell anybody because I was actually embarrassed.
Right.
But it's mad because that's how I'm programmed through other people's reactions and the way that they deal with things. So, I just looked at the next day as being the first day of my new life again. And that's the only
Right.
way you can do it is just take the next day and start all over again. And if you
Exactly.
fail, you fail. If you succeed, brilliant.
It's
Give
like
yourself a pat on the
apologies,
back.
right? It's like apologizing to
Yeah,
yourself, but not actually apologizing, just saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry is not an apology. Those are escape words used by people that don't
yeah,
want to deal with the issue, or it's the beginning of an apology. The best apology is a change in the behavior.
yeah,
So if we have to keep apologizing to ourselves because we chose to get high that day or we drank again or whatever, well, the best apology is to change the behavior. Don't just say, oh, I'm sorry I did this, blah, 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 because that ain't going to do it. We have to look at the root of why and continue
yeah.
moving forward, right? No sense in getting hung
Absolutely.
up on it.
Absolutely. No, no, exactly. And it did help those days. I actually got my housework done or whatever I was really struggling with.
Yeah.
And it didn't have control of me. I had control of it because it was like, no, I'll decide.
Yep.
I'll put that box back. You done your day's job. I gutted my house. I'm probably done whatever on my channel, and then didn't do it for another week. And then it was the day of traveling, the day of the funeral. I was like, I'm never going to last all day, so I took one on the day of the funeral. Didn't even really register it, but it kept me going. I didn't have that like
No.
but then that's it. Like, I'm not again. So I
Yeah.
used it as a crutch. I didn't drink a bottle of bloody vodka. I didn't go and like buy a bag of cocaine or something like that. I had one wee tablet that I prescribed. So I'm not going to be harsh on myself, even
Right.
though I was
Or
like
you
2
didn't
weeks
get
ago
a big
last
bottle
week.
of vodka and a bottle of cocaine and put the cocaine into the vodka. You know?
No partying with
You're,
you, James. Jeez.
you're coming from an old addict that would be like, cocaine in vodka? You can do that?
Well, you can do that, brilliant. Well, exactly. It's self-destruct. That's what you do. Sometimes people need to go and get out their face to. I think that maybe that's what it was. I didn't go and get out my face to deal with his death because that's what we all do. Oh, I'm going to go and get drunk or I'm going to go get high and
Yeah,
deal with it. And I didn't. I didn't do
No,
that.
you
Until
instead
maybe that's
said, I'm not going to deal with the fact that my homeboy just died. I'm going to keep doing everything else. And everyone around me is going to see that I need to just cry and almost shit my
couldn't.
pants. But I'm not going
Uh-huh.
to do it. I
Uh-huh.
will not grieve because if I don't grieve, he's not gone. As long as I hold
So
on to that
yeah.
little piece of my homie, he's still
Hmm.
here. But he is still here
Hmm.
and you've grieved. But now he can
Of
fully be
course.
here even more because you're not carrying so much trauma to the loss of your
Yeah.
homeboy, my friend.
Yeah, I think because it was such a shock. You know, it's not as if you're watching them pass away and you know that it's coming. I just
Yeah.
couldn't get a hold of him for 2 days. And I
Yep.
was just like, okay, I know that he's had a wee bit of bender. He was having that little blowout that I was just saying.
Yep.
And but even no matter what, we always stayed in touch. And as I say, I'd got my Teresa to search on Facebook. So it was the shock, I think. And it was just like I had a
Of
twitch in my
course.
eye for like 4 weeks. My breathing was all up here, and I'm a healer, so I teach people to breathe for a living. And I still was like, I just felt so tense. I couldn't. I shouldn't say this on YouTube, but I like medicinal cannabis. Couldn't get stoned. Was just like in this. It was like a cube. I felt like my head was a square, and I just needed somebody to like remold it back into a head. And Campbell done that. Campbell has sorted me out. It's not brought my friend back. It's not stopped my grief or my heart, but it's reset my whole vibrations. And
Yeah,
it's a shame that I needed to go and puke and shit myself to do that. But hey ho,
that's
sometimes
right.
that's better than going taking drugs and being suicidal 4 days afterwards because I can't cope with the come down or the alcohol. So yeah,
Yep.
there you go. There that was my wee self harm was
Yes.
Campbell, but I get goodness from it. So win win
And
win
for
win.
all our
Well,
viewers out there, we are not medical professionals. Please do not take anything we say as medical advice. We are just saying what we have gone through in our life experience. We do not
yes,
condone you.
yes.
We do not condone the use of drugs or alcohol. If things are
Nope.
legal in your country or your state, that's one thing. If they're not, that's another thing. So in those situations, we do not
Yeah.
condone the use of drugs or alcohol. Thank you.
Absolutely not. No, exactly, No, but that's very important because Campbell might not work for everybody, and it did work for me.
Right.
It's worked better this time than it did the first second time. It's all a different journey. It's all my journey. It's what's worked for me, and I just think I'd like to share it with people because it could work with you.
Right.
But yeah, that's why I like you coming on as well, James, because you're very open about your coping mechanisms. But I must say, my dear, we are at over an hour. I cannot freaking believe that. This has been the quickest stream ever. Um, I have got a wee Oracle card stream tomorrow at 4:15, and we've also got Shakesh on Sunday for a stream. So we've got a busy week on the channel. So if you're all here and you can join, if you're scared that you're going to miss any of the content, just hit the wee bell. I am going to drop James's Pure Love Foundation info. If you want to give him a wee follow, he's on James Collins Cares as well on YouTube. And that's more your you're going to do more gardening stuff, or is that the videos you were meaning that you've not edited? Somebody
Oh
said
yeah, like the
earlier you
James
should do a
Collins.
live.
Yeah,
Do a live on a put your wee phone on a tripod like you've got now and
I
do your
could.
wee
I'd
fun.
have to figure that
Hey,
out for sure. But yeah, James Collins Cares channel is just about like when I had a shitty day and what I felt the gods needed to let me know. A little bit of poetry, a little bit of
yeah,
cooking, a little bit of baking, a
nice.
little bit of gardening, just a
Okay,
little bit of
yeah.
everything. It's just like me. I'm a little bit of everything. Got a lot of
A
stuff
little bit
floating
of
around up
everything.
here, and it's nice to share it with you all in a place without judgment where we can all be safe and we can all
Absolutely.
share our views and opinions without being well, we might be judged upon because we do judge people, but we've gone over that in the past. It's a different type of judgment. It's not like, oh, judge, judge, judge. It's just, come on, we
Yeah.
judge things. We judge how soup tastes. We judge how the weather is. So just remember that too. We all judge. You're nothing wrong with you. You're perfect in your own imperfections.
And plus, don't take anything personal because people are usually just projecting their own dark shitness onto you. So just pray for them, smile at them, and just say you need healing without being too patronizing. But no,
Yes.
on that vibe, yous are all amazing. James and I send you so much love from our heart chakras and from every other chakra. Everybody that's watching the stream now or on replay, you're all blessed with our divine light, and we love you all. So, probably going to be in a few weeks. We will see you soon, James. Thank you again. Give Lunchbox a big snuggle for us, and we will see you on the other side. So
Thanks
thanks
again.
again, peeps. I'm going to love yous and leave yous. I did have a video to play when I was going to say goodbye, but I didn't add it to the stream. So anyway, goodbye, guys. Love yous all. Ciao, ciao.